Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 3 of Highly Opinionated. I'm your co-host Josh. That's Tim.
What's good?
Got the best producer in the game, Ross. What's good,
What's up,
Ross?
man? I'm good. How you feeling, Josh?
I'm good, man. How you?
I'm good. I can't complain.
Good, man. We want to thank y'all for watching last week's episode. We appreciate y'all for all the love and support. Again, we aiming and striving to be the best we can be. We'll keep getting better and better each and every episode.
Yes, sir. And before we start off, I've of course gotta mention you gotta follow us on Instagram at highly opinionated underscore and on X at highly o underscore ss. And of course subscribe to our YouTube channel already.
Appreciate that, Ross. Like I said, the best in the game. Tim, you ready to get it popping, brother?
Yes, sir.
Let's get it, brother. Let's get it. Let's recap week 1 of the college football season. We made some picks last week. We'll go over those games and then we'll preview week 2 of the college football season. Let's start off with North Carolina and Minnesota. North Carolina won 19-17. It was a good game, close game. Minnesota's kicker missed 2 field goals, and during the game, they could have won the game if he didn't miss them. He missed the game-winning field goal at the end, went wide right. Despite North Carolina losing Max Johnson, their starting quarterback, they still found a way to win the game.
Yeah, just to piggyback on it, it was low scoring, but it was still kind of entertaining because the style clash. I picked North Carolina. They end up squeaking by with the win. But like you said, Max Johnson got hurt, but they got the running game going, and that was really the big difference. I didn't think they would be able to run on them like they did, but they actually did get the ground going, game running, and that really led them to victory because the pass game wasn't really effective that much. But yeah, shout out to Mac Brown in North Carolina.
Yeah, Mac Brown, they get that road win on the road. So now they look forward to that next game, week 2 at home. Next game we'll go over is Clemson and Georgia. This game kind of went how I thought it was, how I thought it would go. Clemson keep it close at the beginning, but the talent and the elite play and elite coaching of Georgia, would extend the lead, and that's what they did. Georgia won 34-3. So obviously Georgia blew them out. We can see that. We saw that. We watched the game. So my question to you is about Clemson. So what does Dabo Swinney do from here? And do you still stick to your motto of not messing with the transfer portal? Like, what do you do here?
I mean, I mean, he can't do nothing with the transfer portal right this at this moment. So for this year, he got to roll with his punches and roll with what he got. So you know what I'm saying? They just got to bounce back. Um, but in the future, yeah, he definitely got to use the transfer portal. Like I said, I get his ideology, but like I mean, you got to use what's going to work for you. It benefits you. So like you not getting players doesn't help the team at all. So he definitely is going to have to dibble and dabble in the transfer portal so he can be able to compete with the Georgias and Alabamas in if they want to actually win in the college football playoff. If you just want to get there, you can get there. But if you want to actually win and compete, you're gonna have to get some players out the portal.
Absolutely, absolutely. I agree with that. Clemson definitely needs to attack the portal better. They can't do it obviously during the season because you can't, but during the offseason, he needs to attack the portal. If he does that, Clemson can go back to what they were, being one of the powerhouses in college football. But without that, they'll just be an average team when they play against Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, teams like that. Miami, Tim, are you back? They went down to the swamp. They beat the hell out the Gators, 41-17. Cam Ward, to me, played a lights out game. He was spectacular from start to finish. And Miami went down there. I know we both picked Florida, but Miami went down there and they showed that they're at least better than Florida in the Sunshine State battle.
Yeah, so this game actually was the shocker for me today because I mean I picked Clemson. I picked Georgia to win last, but I had the game a little closer. But I always could view Georgia blowing them out, so that didn't really shock me. But this game actually shocked me because Florida just looked sorry. Like I can't even really judge Miami because Florida just looked bad. Like there was a lot of blown assignments on defense. They didn't get no pressure at all. Cam Ward had all day to throw. So I can't really judge Miami. I think Miami definitely are better than what they where the past 2 to 3 years. So it's definitely improvement there. But I think Florida's bad. Like Florida might be one of the worst teams in the SEC this year. Like they're bad. Like they're like all phases of football, they're bad. Like watching them, it was like disappointing. Like it was like I don't see what can y'all do to get better. Like it was lack of effort, lack of talent. I felt like everybody was like it was so many blown assignments for like I know it's week one, so you get a couple misses, but like Cam Ward, like he had 6 seconds to throw. Like I could have played quarterback for Miami and we would have scored 41. So like yeah, it didn't one of my friends texted me like, "Yo, is Miami that good or is Florida that bad?" I was like, "Yo, I think it's more of Florida being bad. Like I think Miami is better, but Florida looked terrible. Like they might finish close to dead last in the SEC. Like they're bad."
Yeah, no, it wasn't Florida's best performance, but for me, it was more about Miami. I just think Miami always had talent. They just never had a quarterback that can get them in the right positions, right situations, right disposition. So now that they have that, I think to me it was more about Miami. And then again with Crystal Ball, he understands what this year means. Like you got everything you need, you got everything you should have, so you got to start winning. But yeah, I agree. Florida is not that good, and they might finish dead last in the SEC. Vanderbilt beat Virginia Tech, so Vanderbilt can't be that bad. So
Can be.
so yeah, Florida definitely might be finishing last. And I'm gonna put it out here first, right here on the show. I think Billy Napier will be fired by the end of the season, just because it's like the schedule is just too hard. So they're not gonna make a bowl game. They're not. They had to win this game just to be bowl eligible, and they didn't win that. So they're not gonna they're not going to a bowl game and shit. So I think they'll fire Billy Napier at the end of the season or by the end of the season. Next game, Notre Dame, Texas A&M. Notre Dame got the win on the road, 23-13. The defensive struggle for the most part of the game. Notre Dame pulled away at the end. But that was a tough, gritty win for Notre Dame. And if you look at Notre Dame's schedule, they basically should be the number 5 seed in the college football playoff because they should win out. Their hardest game will be that last game against USC at USC. But every other game, they should win out.
So yeah, this game actually kind of went like I thought it would. Riley Leonard, he was 18 to 30, 158 passing yards, had 12 rushes for 63 yards, and then that running back had 14 carries and 91 yards. So like I figured they was going to try to out physical running the ball. Riley Leonard would make some plays with his legs. So the game actually went how I thought it was. I thought they would win by a touchdown or 10, which they did. So that game, I mean, it looked like I expected. Quarterback was Connor Wayman. He looked solid, but they still lacking something in Texas A&M. Like it's not they don't have enough outside playmakers to me. Like that's what they are still missing, even from the Jimbo era. The only real playmaker he had was Aeneas Williams. So like they just lacking talent on the outside to me. Other than that, they're a pretty good team. They just like a piece of two from actually really figuring this thing out.
Yeah, the piece of two for me for Texas A&M's quarterback. I was not impressed with Connor Wegman. I thought he was underperforming. I thought he underperformed. I didn't think Riley Leonard was great. He was solid. He was good enough for them to win. That's what he did. Connor Wegman was not good at all. Texas A&M, they got all the pieces. They just need a quarterback that can galvanize the crew, that can lead them when you get down, when you feel a little bit of adversity. And I don't think Connor Wegman is that. So for me, until they get a better quarterback, they'll lose games like this. Now they'll probably win. They'll win enough games to get to a bowl. But against the better teams, they won't win until they get that guy at the quarterback position.
Yeah, they ain't had one since Kelly Mond. So yeah,
I mean, it's all about recruiting. Just got to recruit the right guy for your system. That's two things: recruit the right guy, and also recruit the right guy for your system. Most coaches just recruit the best guy and then expect him to fit to what they do. That's not how you do it.
Exactly.
The last game, which to me was a shocker, and before I let you go, I owe USC an apology. USC beat LSU 27-20. I have a friend. He's a defensive back coach at Calvert Hall. He's a big USC fan. I made fun of USC when they joined the Big Ten because I'm like, y'all can't handle the Pac-12. Like, what you gonna do with physicality? Well, that wasn't a Big Ten game, but they showed me they can match physicality against physicality when they played LSU. The defense, USC's defense it was like night and day. They actually lined up. They actually started running and hitting people. It's crazy. They actually started playing defense and started tackling people. That's insane. So they played well. I love what I saw from USC's defense. And it's one game. I don't necessarily think USC is better than Ohio State or Oregon. But what that game showed me is that we need to start putting USC in that rightful place up there in the Big Ten upper echelon. Doesn't mean they're going to win it, but I saw a ranking where they were 6th and 7th. No, I think USC is better than Wisconsin. I think USC is better than Michigan State. I think right now USC might be better than Michigan. So right now you can say they're the third, fourth, well, probably the fourth best team in the conference. So I just think USC should get the respect that they deserve, and they played LSU in Vegas, and they handled business 27-20. That was a very, very impressive win. I think you can make a case that was the most impressive win of the weekend.
So this was the best game of the night. This was the best game of the week for me. So like I watched this whole game. Defensively, like neither defense was good to me. Like both of them was like bend but don't break. Like it was real safe to me. So like I don't know if that's gonna work in the Big Ten, but it was an impressive win. Like both quarters, I like both quarterbacks though. Miller Moses can throw the ball. Garrett Nussmeier, hope I'm saying that right. He threw the ball. Nussmeier. He threw the ball well. So like passing wise, I think, like I said, passing wise, both teams are fine. But like defensively, I just need to see a little bit more. Like it was safe to me. Like, and I think what's the name blew the game. Brian Kelly and them blew the game on 3rd and 8 when they had the ball in the red zone. Instead of calling him timeout, he tried to force a play, and they ain't even get a good play off. He just threw it out of bounds on 3rd and 8. That was a changing factor of the game because they was moving the ball pretty easy in the second half versus USC. So it was like that was a game changer for me because you settle for field goals and your defense ain't really getting no stops. Honestly, if you ask, like they got some stops, but it was like a false start here, a whole, you know what I'm saying? That's a stop, but it ain't really like you forced to stop. You know what I'm saying? So like, but yeah, it was. I had LSU winning, so I'm definitely impressed with USC pulling off the game. But I definitely would like to see more because I just ain't like the defensive scheme from neither team. Like it was too vanilla and too safe to me.
Well, yeah, Miller Moss. That's a funny name he has, Miller Moss. But yeah, he can definitely sling it. Garrett Nussmeier can definitely sling it. So the quarterbacks play well. But for me, the reason why I'm giving credit to the defense. Did you watch USC play last year? Did you watch LSU?
Oh
no. What you asking for defense, bro? They're not the 85 Bears. Like, pardon my language, shit takes time. So they need to they developing from being terrible to being average. Let me say this: if USC can hold a team to 20 points, to me, we can obviously debate this at a different point in time, but I don't care about how many yards you give up. I care about how many points you give up. Because you can give up 100 yards if you stop them in the red zone. I'm good with that. They gave up 20 points. If USC gives up 20 points in games, they will be definitely a factor in the Big Ten and mess around, probably win it. So that's my thing. LSU only gave up 27. The game went to overtime. No, I'm sorry. The game did not go to overtime. It almost went to overtime. They scored a touchdown before the end basically at the end of the regular. So even if USC didn't score, they were in field goal range, so it would have been 23-20 instead of 27-20. So LSU basically just gave up a game-winning touchdown. I don't say they gave it up, but they were either going to lose 23 or 27-20. So for them to get 27 points and 20 points respectively, both defenses, man, that's a hell of an improvement. Because USC last year was terrible and LSU was terrible. That's why Jaden Daniels didn't have. That's why they didn't have that much success. They could score against anybody, but they couldn't stop anybody. So I'm glad that both teams, during the offseason, they definitely worked on their defense. And shout out, like you said, we agree on this. Shout out to USC. That was a big win. That was the best game of the weekend. And fight on, Trojans. Welcome to the Big Ten. They handle business. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back on Highly Opinionated. Welcome back to Highly Opinionated. Week 2 of the college football season. Let's go over the 4 marquee games this week, Tim. Let's start with Texas at Michigan, 12 o'clock on Fox. Big noon, college game day. They'll all be there. Who do you think will win this game?
I like Texas, man. I think Ewers and the offense is going to be too much for Michigan. I feel like Michigan is still trying to find their way after losing the Harbaugh, after losing McCarthy. after losing Blake Corum. So I think they still trying to settle in and find out what type of team they trying to be. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the coaches trying to get a gauge of what they want to do and how they want to do it. And I think Texas is just full blown like picking up from last year. So I like Texas. I think it should be an interesting game, but it might Texas might end up winning by double digits if Michigan can't pass the ball. Like it might get not a blowout or nothing, but Texas might end up pulling off by like 10 points Michigan can't if Michigan can't run the ball effectively and they forced to throw. I think we're gonna see what Michigan made of early because I don't know if they can throw the ball well enough.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. I'm in agreement with you. I like Texas. I think it'll be a close game. Michigan will play tough at home. I like Michigan, but they just lost a lot. Roman Wilson, J.J. McCarthy, Blake Corum. They don't know who their number 2 running back is now behind Donovan Edwards. They got Colston Loveland, best tight end in the country, in my opinion. But after that, who else are your weapons? So I think Texas will win. The funny thing about it is Arch Manning is the backup for Texas. He would start for Michigan. Like he would be Michigan's best
player.
So we in agreement. I think Texas will win this game, but I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be a very competitive game. I don't think the Michigan that you saw last week against Fresno State is the Michigan that'll show up against Texas. But because they understand they have to play a certain way, they don't want to get embarrassed. But I think Texas is the better team. I think they'll find a way to win the game. Next, we have Michigan State and Maryland, 3:30 on the Big Ten Network. I'll start us off with this one. I am going to take Maryland. I like Maryland to win the game. I watched Michigan State play week. I know they played week 1. I think they played on Friday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, FAU.
Friday. And they won. They beat FAU 16-10, so it was unimpressive. I know Michigan State got a freshman quarterback that they like, but I like Maryland. I like Coach Locks. I like what they got going on. Maryland blew out their week 1 opponent. They played Connecticut. They blew them out. Connecticut is now on their level, but I think that game will propel them to beat Michigan State on Saturday.
Yeah, I like Maryland as well. I think watching Michigan State play the quarterback Aiden Childs, like, he's not really a strong thrower of the football, so he's more like a running quarterback that's really wants to run. Like, and he's a younger guy, so he hasn't seen a lot of defenses. So I think Maryland will get at them defensively, make them one-dimensional, which will feed into Maryland's strength. And I think Maryland wins that game convincingly.
Gotcha. Next game we have is Tennessee and North Carolina State, Saturday, 7:30 on ABC. You can start us off with that one, brother. Who you like?
So this game I was going back and forth because it's at NC State. And
it's not at NC State. It's a neutral site.
Neutral field. My fault. So it's at a neutral field. Okay. So I think Tennessee will win the game, but I think it's going to be a better game than what most people think because I think NC State. So they got the transfer quarterback from Coastal Carolina, great McCall.
Mm-hmm.
So he's seasoned. He wins a lot. He used to winning a lot, so he's a good leader. And they got a receiver that I think is really good. He's going to be a sleeper on draft boards coming up. I think he's a soft. He might be a sink. I can't remember exactly what year, but he's going to be a sleeper in draft boards. Kevin Concepcion. Like, I think he's going to make some plays versus the Tennessee defense. And NC State plays defense, so I think it's going to be a closer game than what they got. I think the spread is like almost close to double digits. I think it's like 8.5, 9, if I'm not mistaken. But I think the game's going to be close. I think it's going to be a good game. But I think Tennessee just going to figure out a way to win at the end. So I like Tennessee.
We agree. I like Tennessee. Tennessee's quarterback, I can't pronounce his last name.
Me neither.
I watched him play last Saturday. He looked tremendous. He played last year in the bowl game against Iowa. He looked tremendous. I think Tennessee's the better team. I think Tennessee's actually a sleeper in the SEC. Once you get past Georgia, Alabama, Texas, and then I think Ole Miss is probably the 4th best team. You start after that, you can start jockeying for position. I think Tennessee should be mentioned up there. I love what they have. Josh Heupel with that offense. You know they're going to be fast paced. You know they're going to be running and shooting and flowing and going and all that stuff. So I agree. I like Tennessee to beat North Carolina State Saturday at 7:30. Will it be a? I mean, yeah, I think it'll be a competitive game. I don't think Tennessee's going to beat them 69-0. I don't think it'll be like that. But I think Tennessee will show that they're superior and they'll win the game. Last preview game for the week: Colorado Buffaloes versus Nebraska, Saturday 7:30 NBC. I am taking Nebraska. I was not impressed with Colorado last week against North Dakota State at all. I think Colorado has some deficiencies. If you take Shedeur, Jimmy Horn Jr., Shedeur Sanders, and Travis Hunter off this team, they really seriously might not even win a game. So they have great skill positions, but their offensive line and defensive line are still projects to me. So I like Nebraska.
I actually like Colorado. I just think Shador probably, to me, he's the best quarterback in college football. I think with that bad line, he still makes a lot of plays. And I think they're just going to keep getting better as the year goes along. And it's hard to stop Travis Hunter and Jimmy Horn. What they do need is a run game, though. They need some type of running game because they didn't get much versus North Dakota State. So that's really my concern is getting the run game so he's not just one dimensional. He has to throw 45 times a game. So I think they get I'm not gonna say they get it going versus Nebraska, but I think it looks better versus Nebraska, and I think defensively they get enough stops to win it. I don't think their defense is that good, but you just gotta get enough stops to win the game when you got an offense like that. So I'm going with Colorado.
Yeah, I like Nebraska. We both picked Colorado to make the playoff, and I'm not jumping off that ship.
Yeah.
But I just see deficiency. So me picking a game, I just have to be honest. Dylan Raiola, the freshman quarterback for Nebraska, I like him. I think Shedeur Sanders will be a very good to the best of the quarterbacks that he'll be in the draft class with this year. I think he'll be the best pro quarterback. But I do not think he's the best college quarterback. I do not, because at the end of the day, yes, I'll give you that Colorado offensive line is not good, so it makes up he has to always run around or scramble around. But for me, it's just certain things that Carson Beck does better at the college level that I know that Shedeur doesn't do. Now in pro level, I think Shedeur would be better. I'll give you that. But for me, until they get that offensive line together, until they get that defensive line together, you can't just outscore everybody. You're gonna have to play some defense. And you said this. You said the defense don't have to. They just have to get timely stops. I don't trust Colorado defense to get nothing. They had an 11-point lead. They let North Dakota go down there and score a touchdown to make the game closer. And then at the end of the game, if North Dakota State was closer to the red zone, they would have won the game because when they threw the Hail Mary, they caught it. North Dakota State caught it. So Colorado got some things to work on. Hopefully they can do that this week. But I think Nebraska, I think it'll be a very exciting game. NBC will be definitely happy they got this game in prime time. This game will do a better number rating-wise than Tennessee and North Carolina State.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But you got Colorado, I got Nebraska. So we'll see next week, see how we do with our picks for these games, and we'll come back at it next week and see how it goes. We're going to take a quick commercial break on Highly Opinionated. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Highly Opinionated. NFL season's fast approaching. Very, very soon. It's time for Tim and I to give our playoff predictions and Super Bowl pick and winner. Tim, let's start off with the AFC. Let's give you your playoff prediction.
Playoff predictions in the AFC. So I have the Bills coming out the East.
Okay.
I have the Chargers coming out the West. I have Houston coming out the South. And out the North, I have the Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland Browns, okay. What about wild cards?
Wild cards, I have Miami Dolphins, Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
And the final, it's three of them, right?
Yes, three.
Three now, right? And the final one was Cincinnati Bengals. My part.
Cincinnati Bengals
Yeah,
making
Cincinnati Bengals
making the playoffs.
making
So
the playoffs.
you don't have the Baltimore Ravens making the playoffs.
Nah,
You don't have the New York Jets making the playoffs.
nah,
You don't have the Jacksonville Jaguars making the playoffs.
nah.
And you have and ladies and gentlemen, I was shocked too. You have the Los Angeles Chargers winning the AFC West.
Yes, I think I don't even want to be long with it, but I just think after a while, teams figure you out. I think they've been on. They played Mahomes and them like in the division. They're the closest team. They normally be close. They normally lose by a score. So I think like they finally get over the hump. Like Harbaugh, I think they finally stay healthy. Fingers crossed. They can get through a whole season with everybody or majority of the team playing. And I think they finally get them. Like I think they finally rise to the occasion and they take the division.
Gotcha. So Bills win the East, Browns win the North, Texans win the South, Chargers win the West, Chiefs as a wild card. Miami, you said Miami, right?
Yeah, Dolphins as a wild card.
Miami as a wild card, and
Bengals.
Bengals
Joe
as a wild
Burrow.
Joe Burrow. Okay. Well, I love this show. That's why it's called Highly Opinionated. We all have opinions, so I love it. We agree on some of these things, actually. I'll give my order I'll save the AFC North for last. AFC East, I like the Jets. AFC South, I like Jacksonville to win that division. AFC West, I know my co-host convinced y'all that the Chargers, are so close to the Chiefs. Yeah, the difference of the Chargers and the Chiefs, one has 15 in Andy Reid, and the other one has 10 in Jim Harbaugh. I like Jim. I think Jim is very, very good. I'm going to take 15 in Andy Reid, so I'm going to take the Chiefs to win that division. My wild card, AFC North. I think the Cincinnati Bengals win the AFC North this season. By the way, they will get that deal with Jamar Chase done before week 1, before there's a game played that Jamar Chase will be the highest paid receiver in the NFL. You heard it here first. My wild cards for the AFC, Miami Dolphins, Houston Texans, Baltimore Ravens. Those are your 3 wild cards. I do not have the Cleveland Browns making the playoffs. It was tough to leave those guys out. I do not have the Buffalo Bills making the playoffs. It was extremely tough leaving Josh Allen out. But I just think that the losses that they had, I just think these other teams have gotten better. I'm sure I'm missing another team. The Chargers. The Chargers were another team I was strongly considering just because people know how I feel about the quarterback. But I love the coach. And I think the coach will get them going. I believe that he'll get that defense going and they will be more physical. But it's only 7 spots. If it was 10, 11, of course. But you only have 7 spots. So you got to make it do what you can do. Now let's switch over to the NFC. I'll start with the NFC since you started with the AFC. NFC North, I have the Detroit Lions. NFC West, I have the LA Rams. NFC East, fly, Eagles, fly. NFC South, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Y'all gonna stop disrespecting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this division. Y'all gonna stop that. They won this division with Tom Brady. They won it without Tom Brady. I understand the Falcons got new shiny pieces. I get it. They should be the favorite to win the division. They got the best safety tandem in the league with Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons. But things take time. Kirk Cousins is coming back from an injury. They do have a new head coach. You know this. You know this better than anybody. Tell them from last year watching your Philadelphia Eagles. Things take time. New system takes time. New players take time. So I think the Bucs will win the South. The wild cards I have San Francisco 49ers, Green Bay Packers. And despite it taking time, I still think the Falcons will make the playoffs. So I have the Falcons make the playoffs. It was hard leaving the Cowboys out, but I think the Cowboys got too much going on. I actually think they had a bad offseason because they didn't really adjust the needs on their team. So, again, Lions win the NFC North, Rams win the NFC West, Eagles win the NFC East. Bucks win the South. 49ers, Falcons, and Green Bay Packers are your wild cards.
So my NFC picks, uh, starting with the NFC North, I like Detroit as well. I think they building something over there. Dan Quinn and the gang, I think they on the way. They actually should have beat the 49ers if you ask
They
me,
should.
but they on pace to do something. So I got them in the NFC North. NFC East, I got the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they're the most complete team in the East. It's going to be hard to stop them
No, no,
offensively.
no. You're constructively obligated to say that, even if they weren't the
I
best
just,
team in the East.
I just think this is a tough out. Like it's going to be a tough out. NFC South, I like Atlanta. Like I know it's a lot of new components and over there, but I think you got a veteran quarterback, you got young talent all over the place. I think that's just going to be a hard team to deal with.
I just gave you a whole soliloquy. You ain't even listen to me. You crazy.
Shoot, where am I? What was the South, right? NFC South.
South, yeah, South.
This
NFC West.
NFC West. NFC West, man. I was going back and forth on this one, but I got the 49ers, man. I just think Shanahan and them just know how to. They just know how to get the job done. Like I'm not the biggest fan of Brock Purdy, but I just the way he puts people in position to win their matchups. So like he's one of the best coaches to me because he knows how to put. He
He can
put
scheme a
anybody.
matchup up the right way.
Yeah, he in his favor. So he gonna get Christian McCaffrey on the linebacker when he running the angle route. He gonna put Debo on the slide. He got the linebacker shaded on him, so he just knows how to X and the O it a little bit better than most coaches. So I took the 49ers in the division. So the wild cards I had in the NFC, I like the Rams a lot. I just gotta see. I got them making it, but I don't have them winning just because I gotta see what the line look like. And they lost Aaron Donald, which was a big loss.
Yeah, best defensive player in the league.
Yeah, so that's a big hit. Got to see how they replace him. I do think they replaced him though. It won't be like right away, but they actually got two of Florida State guys. They got
Brandon Frisk and Jared Verse. Yes, sir.
And Jared Verse. So those are two great pickups. So you know what I'm saying. They should be able to help immediately. So my second team, man, I went back and forth with this because I'm not really sold on them, even though they just paid them 200-something million. I got the Packers. I think they get in. I'm not sold on Jordan Love, but we'll see this year. Another year of film, so we'll see how he looks this year. And the last team, man, I just ain't have faith in the Cowboys. So it's like, who else really can get in? It was like, I guess Tampa.
I guess.
I don't.
I guess.
I don't have the biggest faith in Tampa, but I mean, looking at everybody else, I mean, it was like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The crazy thing is, well, it was one of my hot takes with the Vikings. Look out for the Vikings. Is all I'm gonna say. I was wagering between the Vikings and Tampa. So if it doesn't be Tampa, it's the Vikings. Y'all had it first. The Vikings might sneak in there.
Nah, yeah, I don't know why people so down on Tampa. I'm not saying they're gonna make the Super Bowl, but they got a returning quarterback. They got all their weapons back. They drafted the best center in the draft, in my opinion. They got young on defense because they looked a little old and slow on defense. Now, could they use a veteran pass rusher like I don't know Hassan Reddick, somebody like that? Of course, but yeah, I don't know why people down on Tampa. I get the Falcons are the new shiny toy. I get that, but I don't think Tampa's terrible. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think 17. So 17 games. I got them winning like 10 games.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, I could see 10-7. I could see nine. I could see between 9 and 8, and at best 12 and 5. I could see them going 12. Now, certain things have to go their way for them to go 12 and 5. I'm not betting that they will win 12 games, but I definitely can. I don't think they're going to go 6 and 11. You know what I'm saying? I don't see that. They got too much time.
So I don't think 10-7 wins the division. You feel me? So I think Atlanta will have more.
Yeah, Atlanta. No, I got you.
So you know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think Tampa's trash or nothing, but it was like I don't know, man. Can Baker Mayfield replicate what he did last year? Is what I'm excited to see. can he
Absolutely.
replicate it? Would be my biggest issue. Like, can he do it again?
Absolutely. With Baker, and again, that's the other quarterbacks too. Whether it's Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Russell Wilson, other guys, like you got to prove yourself. Like you got to prove that you can do certain. Everybody has something to prove. Mahomes even, can you win 3 in a row? Josh Allen, can you beat Patrick Mahomes? Lamar Jackson, can you win consecutive playoff games in a row? So everybody got Joe Burrow. Can you stay healthy? So everybody has something to prove. And I'm a Baker Mayfield fan, but for me, yeah, he has to show that he can have consistently good seasons, put them together. But again, for me, as long as he don't mess up, I just don't see how this team cannot make the playoffs. My bad. I'm sorry. I can't see how. Like again, and I think that GM Jason Light is underrated. You feel me? So I think if they need to make a move, they'll make a move to get the team better. But so we both do not have the Cowboys in. We both think the Cowboys have missed the playoffs.
Yeah, it was hard on that one because it was like I just don't see it. Like I don't feel like you said, I don't feel like they drafted needs. Like they still missing a lot, and they lost a lot. So like I don't see it.
Yeah, I just think with the noise that they got, I think it was too much. And I don't think Jerry really believes in Dak. And I think that'll show this year. Because like in the end of the day, they can make the playoffs. He's judging him on can he win in the playoffs. He's not judging him on making the playoffs. He's judging him on winning the playoffs. So yeah, only time can tell. But yeah, we agree. We don't have the Cowboys in there. And the Packers with Jordan Love, that is a good point about what you said about not, because he only had a small sample size. His sample size was actually smaller than CJ Stroud, if you think about it. Yep. Jordan Love didn't get hot until the end of the season. CJ Stroud was balling from. So yeah, we definitely have to see how Jordan Love plays. But yeah, I just think the Packers got too much talent, and their weapons are so young that Jordan Love actually grew up with it, like developed with them. So
yeah.
So yeah, man, only time will tell. So we gave you guys our playoff predictions. Now it's time to give you guys our Super Bowl prediction. Tim, who do you have winning the Super Bowl this season?
So, Super Bowl predictions and before week 1 are hard to do because you don't have no game tape. You know what I'm saying? You really just going off
how you feel,
how you feel, names and coaches. Honestly, like I can't tell you exactly why. I can tell you why I think this way, but I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't make it make sense to you until we actually see it. But I'm gonna name the AFC team first, just because I want to be more comfortable. So y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't get on me for the NFC team. So I'm gonna say the AFC.
We already know who you picking to win the NFC. We already know that. So now it's just about who are the Eagles playing in the Super Bowl.
So the AFC team, man, I think the Browns about to have a special year, man. Hey, look, man, you got a couple little dollars, got a couple dollars to the side. Coach Tim just told you put $50 on the Browns to go to the Super Bowl. You make a couple $1,000 that, man, just throw me $100, man. You know what I'm saying? If that happens. Just throw me you know what I'm saying? Throw me $100. But yeah, the Browns, man, like I said, talent wise, it's off the charts, man. Every position they got two to three deep. Y'all know the names: Judy, Amari Cooper, my fault. Joku at tight end. That's offensively. You know about Myles Garrett. You know about Denzel Ward. I'm missing names. I can't think of everybody, but they're loaded on both sides of the football. So like I think, like I said on episode 1, Deshaun Watson, I think he's about to remind people who he is and remind himself, more importantly, remind himself who he is, because doubt starts to creep at like,
absolutely,
you know what I'm saying? I got better players and I ain't produced, you know what I'm saying? So I think the Browns I think it's gonna be a hard out. And then like I said, that the way they lost to the Texans, man, the defense ain't look good. Flacco looked like Flacco, so I wasn't really shocked there, but it looked like his magical Space Jam juice ran out in the playoffs, and he just was throwing it to the wrong team.
Yeah, he was. He was just throwing them up. He was throwing them up.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, so the Browns, and then NFC, man. I ain't gonna lie, I like the Lions a lot, but I think the Eagles just gonna be hard to stop. offensively, man. Like it's.
Oh, I thought you was about to take the Lions. I thought to be like, what? I'm like,
I think
oh,
that you know what I'm saying.
oh my god, oh my god.
It's just gonna be hard to stop them boys. Like as a coach, like I don't know what you want them to run the ball, but I don't know if Saquon. I don't know how I would scheme against them. Like I would have to see something or create something different because I don't see it. And then I like Kellen Moore. Like most people don't know when he was with Dallas, they was a top rushing team, and they was kind of split on the passing as well. So like it's just gonna be tough. And Jalen Hurts is healthy. Like last year, he wasn't healthy. Like he had that knee injury. I know they wasn't talking about it, and I'm glad they ain't talking about it because I don't really like making excuses. But you can tell he wasn't the same player in a running game like he normally was. So like, and then defensively, like the D line. I don't even want to name everybody. We're gonna be here till tomorrow if I name everybody on the D line, and then the linebackers. We got Devin White from the Buccaneers, and from what it sounded like over there, like sound like he was playing injured. He was playing injured and he rushed back and he wasn't all the way healthy and he just wasn't the same player. Like, you know what I'm saying? But now he got a new fresh start. You know what I'm saying? Playing for a contract. I tell people all the time, them contract years, people play out their mind on the contract years. So
Absolutely.
I think he's going to play out his mind. And then we got the Georgia tandem with Nolan Smith and N'Kobe Dean. I think if both they stay healthy, I think that's a good linebacker core to secondary. You got Slade, Quentin Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. I think it's just a lot of talent over there. And the pass rush do what they supposed to do. They ain't supposed to cover that long anyway. So I got the Eagles and the Browns, man. And I would actually like to see that game from a talent standpoint because think both of them teams are loaded on both sides of the ball. So you'll get a real interesting Super Bowl. Sort of like, I'm not a big high scoring person, but sort of like that Eagles Patriots Super Bowl. I think it'll look similar to that, but hopefully not 40. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see that many touchdowns. Like we gotta play some type of defense.
So who do you have winning?
Oh yeah, it's Philly.
Okay, Philadelphia.
Like
Philadelphia plays the Browns and they win the Super Bowl. Okay.
Yeah, they won the Super Bowl.
I think I give you credit for that Browns pick. It's not crazy. It's really like, if you think about it, it's not. I don't have the Browns to make the playoffs, but it's not crazy. If you look at talent, and the biggest thing is can Deshaun Watson revert back to who he was in Houston? That's the biggest thing. If he can do that, then bro, your prediction is it ain't even crazy. Like it's because the Browns do have they have one of the best, if not the best, defense. They just need their skilled players to come along. Now, what I will say, I'm not going against you, but the reason why I didn't have the Browns in the playoffs, they start the season with Nick Chubb on the PUP list. The offensive line is already hurt. A lot of those guys got hurt last year. So they're coming back from injury. So I feel like this sounds crazy. I actually feel like the Browns season actually will be next year if they don't have any crazy injuries this year, because all those guys should be back and they should be back from injury. They should have that cohesion back, that flow back, that that plan back in them. So they'll be better next year. But yeah, the Browns is not a crazy pick. The Eagles, the NFC is actually, to me, is actually harder to pick a Super Bowl team. And I'll give you an example. The 49ers have trouble. They have trouble inside. Trent Williams hasn't got paid. They still got trouble inside. The Rams have offensive line injuries. The Eagles are bringing in a new offensive and defensive coordinator. I know that you said Kellen Moore, when he was the offensive coordinator with Dallas, but he was there consecutively. He played for them, so he knew what to do and what not to do. To me, this is going to be still an adjustment for him with the Eagles. Jalen Hurts, is he a top-tier quarterback? Did he have one outlier of a season, or is he an average quarterback? Only time can tell. Detroit with the defense. Atlanta, they got a new quarterback. I saw the Bears getting some Super Bowl love. I don't believe in that, but they got a rookie quarterback, and I don't believe in that coach. And then Tampa Bay's young. You feel me? So especially on the defensive side. So all these teams in the NFC have deficiencies. So for me, my Super Bowl prediction, I have the Detroit Lions winning the NFC. I felt last year, like you said, they should have won the NFC. So I think this year they'll get back there and they'll actually win it. And my AFC champion, along with them winning the Super Bowl, I got the New York Jets winning the Super Bowl, Tom. I got the Jets, baby. I got the Jets. I'm riding with Aaron Rodgers. I'm riding with that offensive line. I'm riding with the adjustments. Aaron Rodgers is going to. I told y'all last week. Y'all thought it was a joke. He's going to win the comeback player of the year. He's also going to win the Super Bowl MVP. The Jets are going to win the Super Bowl. They're going to have a top 5 defense. I think arguably they're going to have the second or third best defense right behind the Browns. They were in games last year. All they needed was a quarterback. All the Jets had to do is keep Aaron Rodgers up. Aaron Rodgers is going to come back and remind, you think this person better? You think this person better? No. Aaron Rodgers come back on his revenge tour. Give me the Jets. Jets. The Jets going to win the Super Bowl, They're going to beat the Lions in the Super Bowl.
Oh, the Jets.
They're going to beat the Lions.
It's not even your pick. I just can't take the Jets.
I know.
Aaron Rodgers ain't even practicing in the rain.
That's fine. That's fine. It ain't gonna be raining. It ain't gonna be raining. They play the Super Bowl in a warm destination, sun in a dome. It ain't gonna rain in the Super Bowl. They're gonna be fine. Look, that's precautionary. Aaron Rodgers is gonna show y'all why he is who he is. The Jets are going to the Super Bowl. They're going to win the Super Bowl.
Why is it precautionary? Because he old, man. It's his time old, man. You can't practice in the rain. Like that's crazy.
I'm sure when Brady was in Tampa, they held him out for rain practices or heat practices.
But they ain't announced it though. You know what I'm saying?
I'll give you that. I don't know why the Jets announced that. That was stupid.
You know what I'm saying?
Why would you announce that?
You know what I'm saying? So you sold on these Jets, man. We're gonna see, man.
I'm sold, man. I'm sold on them.
We ain't seen no games yet, so I can't say you crazy or not.
I'm sold. I'm sold.
I gotta see it, man.
In our next segment, I'm gonna show you how sold I really am on. That's how I'm gonna show you how sold I really am on our next segment. So I have the Jets and the Lions. I have the Jets winning the Super Bowl. Tim has the Eagles and the Browns, and he has, of course, the Philadelphia Eagles winning the Super Bowl. Shot. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back on Highly Opinionated. Welcome back to Highly Opinionated. Week 1 of the NFL season. Preview time. Let's go over the 4 marquee games of the week 10. Let's start with Thursday night, rain night in Kansas City. The Baltimore Ravens versus Kansas City Chiefs. NBC. Rain night for the Chiefs. Rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. Who you like?
I like the Chiefs. I think the Ravens, they want to beat them so bad. I think they're gonna have a costly turnover. It's just going to cause them to lose the game. That's just how I feel. One got Patrick Mahomes, the other don't, and I just think that's going to be the fact in the game. They're going to have a key turnover, and then I would like to see how this offense, like what they put out on the field for offense, because I don't want to get too deep in it. Me personally, I would play Mark Andrews and Likely. Like that would be my starting lineup because y'all not a spread team, but we're going to see what they do, man. But I like the Chiefs, man. I like the Chiefs.
I like the Chiefs too, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what this man problem is with the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. I ain't got nothing to do with this. I like the Chiefs. I just think they're the better team. They're gonna win. It's rain night. You feel me? I don't know what this man problem is with Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Next game, Friday night, first ever Friday night game I can remember to start week 1 ever in my lifetime. Friday night, 8:15, Peacock. Make sure you watch on Peacock. Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles from Rio, right, Tim?
Yeah. Brazil. Yeah.
Brazil. I'm sorry.
Brazil.
I am going to take the Green Bay Packers for the upset. I think the Packers will win. I think Jordan Love. I think the Eagles got too many unknowns, too many variables that they bringing in. New offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. So with that being said, I like the Packers to win. I think Jordan Love will show in this one game will show why the Packers paid them and paid them all the money that they did. So give me Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers.
So at first I was going back and forth with this pick just because it was in Brazil, and I felt like, you know what I'm saying, it's just different. You know what I'm saying? It's not your normal wake up routine, so it's different.
It's not your normal workday week in football.
You know what I'm saying? It's different. So they probably left Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? So it's just through everything off schedule, but. Once I read something that the Eagles player said, it's a business trip. Like I kept saying business trip. Like the coaches said, some of them players was thinking not vacation like, but they was like they wanted to do certain things, and the coach was like, nah, ain't none of that going on. So like, the focus is there. So like that's the only way I thought the Packers had a chance. But now I think it's going to get dark for the Packers. Like I think the league is about to preview the best offense in the league, and they should average 28 or more points a game. They should be the best offense in the league. And if they're not the best offense in the league, I don't know what Kellen Moore is doing, and I don't know what Jalen Hurts doing. Because if they not the best offense in the league, something not clicking between them two. So like I think the Packers will be a good suitable opponent. Like I think the first half might be a little close, but after that, I think the Eagles will separate.
Got you. Okay, yeah, time is up. We will definitely see. The next game, Sunday at 4:25 Eastern on Fox. The Cowboys versus Browns. This is Tom Brady's first broadcasting game on Fox, so I definitely look forward to listening to him break the game down and pontificate on the game and have his points on them. For me, I am going to take the Cleveland Browns to win this game. I think they have the better defense. CeeDee Lamb is going to take him a little while to get adjusted to actual football speed. He hasn't practiced in a while. So despite the Browns being down a few offensive linemen, not having Nick Chubb, I think they'll find a way to win this game defensively. So give me the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I like the Browns as well. I think Deshaun Watson is about to be the game. He put us on notice. I think he's going to throw for about 300, 3 touchdowns. Like I think he's about to pass all over the Cowboys. So I like the Browns as well. I don't see the Cowboys getting too many stops personally, but I like the Browns.
Gotcha. And the last game, about 4-game breakdown. Monday night, my Super Bowl champ, New York Jets. They travel to San Francisco to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Who you like?
I like the 49ers, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like defensively, don't get me wrong. Jets got a great defense. I just don't believe in old time. Like I don't believe in Rodgers. Like I just think the 49ers, even with the outside distractions, like they're gonna be able to bottle it in. They got a tight unit over there. I think Hargrave on the defensive line is going to cause some problems for the Jets. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to get pressured a lot, so I don't think he's going to be comfortable versus them. So I like the 49ers. I think it's a close game, though, but I like the 49ers.
I am taking the Jets to win this game. San Francisco got too much going on. No Trent Williams. He won't be there. I think the Jets defense will be able to get off. They'll be able to stop McCaffrey, put the ball in Brock Purdy's hands, and I think we understand what that is. So Brock Purdy is a very good quarterback, but he's better when he has a run game and everything's around him than when he is by himself and he has to do things. You saw that last year when they didn't have against Cleveland at Cleveland, and it was another game I can't remember, but it was all on him. He couldn't do it. So for me, I like the Jets. I think the old timer will come out and show that he still can sling that thing. I look for Garrett Wilson to have a good game. I look for Breece Hall, right?
Breece.
Yeah, Breece Hall to have a good game. I like the Jets to win this game on Monday night to start the season off. Quick, one thing before we go. We went over the 4 games. I do have an upset pick of the week. My upset pick of the week, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars beating the Miami Dolphins in Miami. That is my upset pick of the week.
I'm mad at that.
Thank you. Let's take a quick commercial break. Ladies and gentlemen, our last segment is a new segment to the show. We're going to try to put some money in you guys' pocket. Make sure you guys come back. This is Highly Opinionated. Welcome back to Highly Opinionated. Before the commercial break, we told you guys that we want to start putting some money in you guys' pocket. The last segment of the show is called Build Your Parlay. So obviously, for you gambling folks out here, we're going to make a parlay. We're going to tell you guys our parlay picks, and you guys have a variety of options to choose. You can choose Tim options, Ross options, my options. You can combine, you can subtract, and do whatever you want to do. But this segment is about you guys making money. Fun way to end the show. So let's get it started, Tim. What's your parlay for this week?
My parlay for this week. So I like to mix picks, so I'm gonna do mix between college and the NFL. So
smart man.
So this week I like Iowa -2.5 over Iowa State. Iowa's at home. They play great defense. It's hard to score on them. It's gonna be a low scoring game, so you can also look at the under because no one really scores on Iowa. And they got Cade McNamara quarterback transfer from Michigan, so the offense actually looks a little better as well. So I
They
like
scored
Iowa at
40.
home.
They scored 40 points last week. That was
Yeah,
crazy.
it only takes them 4 weeks to score 40 points, so they did it in 1 week. So that's a plus. So I like Iowa. That's my first pick. And the next game is Tulane versus I like Tulane plus 10 versus Kansas State. That's too many points. Kansas State, they lost their quarterback. They're not exactly the same team. So Tulane is also a good team, and that can't remember the conference. I don't know if they changed or not. But Tulane is a good team, so that's going to be a close game. So those my first two picks. My next pick is the Eagles in Brazil minus 2.5 versus the Packers. They just gonna beat the Packers, like you know what I'm saying. That's one of the locks. That's one of my locks. The next game I have Texas money line over the Colts. I just think with everything they brought in additions wise with Stephon Diggs, Tank Bell at receive, I think Stroud is just gonna keep getting better and better. Eventually, he's gonna get in them conversations as one of the best quarterbacks in the league, I believe. Um, and they playing a Colts team. I like Jonathan Taylor. Not, I got to see more Anthony Richardson, but I think Texans beat them. And then my last pick, you got to bump this spread down a point just for safety reasons, because I got the Miami Dolphins over the Jags. The current spread is Jags minus 3.5, but to be safe, bump it down to minus 2.5, so they only got to win by a field goal. So you don't get screwed. So I like the Miami Dolphins. I think they're gonna be. I think what's the boy on the other side? Sunshine, Trevor Lawrence. He's gonna throw 2 interceptions in that game. So that's why Miami's gonna win the game. So that's my
Sunshine.
five. That's my 5-team parlay for y'all.
Five legger.
Five
We should
leggers.
on this show we're gonna try to keep it simple for y'all. We're not gonna have no 10, 15 leggers. That's how y'all lose your
Yeah.
money. Trying to give y'all
Yeah, 3 to 5.
smart gambling tip. So like Ross said, 3 to 5 picks at the most. Ross, it's your
Tim,
turn.
before I go ahead, you got the eyes on that?
I
In front of
didn't.
you?
I didn't even plug it
Okay.
in yet because
Okay, you
some of them
good.
games, yeah, some of them games not. But that I'm not gonna lie, since most of them spreads, only one is really adjusted. It should be a high level ticket. So if you bet $20, you're gonna at least win 500 or more on it. So pretty
Okay.
good ticket if you just trying to turn quick turnaround.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, definitely mixing the sports is definitely like
Yeah.
something. Yeah, personally, I do that with the NBA, NFL because again, I'm not too into the college.
Right.
But so for me, for this, I'm gonna usually go on the smaller side just to try to get some plus money on the show. But today, for this week, on your point, I do got the Texans on the spread, so I got them minus 2.5 on the Colts. Again, I just think the Texans, again, bringing in Stephon Diggs and just getting better from last year, they just gonna be a problem this year. For my second one, I got the Cardinals plus 5.5 against the Bills. I think I think the Cardinals could win that because again, the Bills. I just want to see what they're gonna do without the receivers. Granted, they got Kincaid, so like Josh Allen gonna have a target, but like I mean, we're gonna see what the Khalil Shakir and what's Coleman, the rookie, what he
You know,
gonna
common.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keon Coleman. So yeah, but I think they can at least lose by 3 or whatever, the Cardinals.
Okay.
My third, I got Tennessee plus 4.5 with the Bears. I think the Bears should win that, but again, Tennessee usually with when they the underdogs, they perform a lot better. I do think they're gonna be better. They got more targets, Calvin Ridley over there. I'm curious to see what the run game with Tony Pollard and with Spears over there. And again, I think the Bears gonna do good this year. I think Caleb Williams is gonna do good, but still, it's gonna be some growing pains. So just off the strength, I want to see what the Bears going to do. And again, I'm not taking the Tennessee to win, but I think they can at least lose by less than a field goal. And then my last pick in my parlay is I got the Rams plus 3.5 on Detroit. I do think Detroit is in the game, but again, Detroit got way better defense. But if as long as everybody healthy, Cooper Cup healthy, Puka, Kyron, they gonna put up points. So like again, this is the 3.5. So like I think they can at least not lose by more than a field goal. So with those 4 games, it is plus 1,171. So if you bet, like I bet $10 and you win 117. So that's my parlay this week.
That's not bad at all. Simple and straight to the point. I like it.
I'll try to do
My
that.
parlay for this week involves the first game of the season. Baltimore Ravens at Kansas City Chiefs. I have Kansas City Chiefs money line. I have Rashad Bateman over 2.5 catches. I have Rashad Bateman 40+ receiving yards. This is very, very simple. Most people don't know this. Mark Andrews hasn't practiced since he was in that car accident. So in a game like this, Lamar Jackson is going to go to camaraderie. Going to throw the ball to people that he feel comfortable with. Well, Zay Flowers can't get the ball all the time. Isaiah Likely can't get the ball all the time. Lamar Jackson said Rashad Bateman's ready to have a breakout season. So if your quarterback is saying that, that tells me that he's going to throw you the ball. Because how would he know you're going to have a breakout season if he's not going to give you the ball? You feel me? So I like Bateman with 40 yards. I like Bateman with 3 catches. And I like the Kansas City Chiefs to win. That 3-leg parlay is plus 345. Ladies and gentlemen, for me, I go hard to go home. I put 100 on that thing. 100 get your $445. Perfect way to start the season off. You got enough money. With $445, you probably got enough money to gamble at least week 1, week 2, and week 3 of the NFL season. So for me, my tickets is about building up your bankroll. Build your bankroll up. Let's get, like I said, between 3 to, I probably say 5 at the max, but 3 to 5 things. Let's get these things played and let's rock out. So you heard what Tim said, you heard what Ross said, you heard what I said. Again, you can mix and match. You can take from one person, you can subtract, add, you can do whatever you want. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get some money in you guys' pocket. You just heard some form of a winning combination here. You guys just got to pick the right plays to pick. And hopefully, we all can win some money.
Yeah, and I do like that. Again, just as a Ravens fan, you might, unless you're a Ravens fan, you might not see too much of Rashad Bateman because he just always hurt. But watching every game when he is healthy, they get him the ball. They do target him. So, like, I do think that I like that receptions.
Yeah, 3 catches, 40 yards.
And we're gonna have to score. I mean, I personally think we're gonna win, but Kansas City, they're gonna score. So we're gonna have to score. So it's not gonna be a low-scoring game. Again, like you said, we don't got that many targets. So as long as Rashad Bateman healthy, he probably is gonna slot in that number one receiver, that X receiver. So yeah, I like that.
Because they can do everything else. He's your gadget guy. He can jet sweeps, throw a little screen to him, and can take it to the house. Rashad Bateman is your solid X receiver that you line up, run a slant, run a dig, run an in, run an out, something like that. So, yeah. Look, when I saw Lamar Jackson say that he's gonna have a breakout season, I mean that's basically him indirectly saying, "Hey, you getting the ball." That's basically what he's saying. So, all right, cool, I'm with it. And you better, to me now, y'all know this as gambling, you better jump down on these catches week 1 because as the game's progressive, they're going to start going up crazy. Like if Cooper Kupp catch right now is at 5.5, you better, Puka Nacua or somebody like that, I don't even care if they don't get it. Take it. Because when they start catching 7, 8, 9 passes a game, that thing will skyrocket like 12.5. It's going to be ridiculous, something crazy. So jump on these numbers now. It's the perfect time to bet and gamble with the NFL early when they start because the books are unpredictable. They don't know what to expect. They don't know what not to expect. So this is the perfect time.
Yeah, I agree. For sure.
Well, we want to thank you guys for watching Highly Opinionated. Again, hopefully you guys enjoy that Build Your Parlay. There's a new segment on the show. We'll have that every week. Again, we're trying to put money in you guys' pocket. So thanks for watching. We love you guys. We love all the support. You guys have a great week. We'll see you guys next week. We out.
Appreciate y'all, man.